Welcome back to the motherfucking podcast, guys.
What's up?
Wait, I sounded like a YouTuber and I kind of hate that.
Wait,
I take it back. We're fine.
what did you say?
My tone.
I didn't think that.
Okay, let us know.
Yeah, did Lacey sound like a YouTuber? No, that was great. I just kind of let you go with it because you're like in it. Like you're like, welcome back, and I'm like,
I have an on switch. I feel like when there's a camera,
that's good because you're in like the entertainment business.
Yeah, because I'm pretty chill until there's a camera on.
Wow, that's very true. Well, no, I don't know. I feel like you're pretty standard this way.
Oh,
yeah. Anyways, welcome back to the podcast, you guys. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Lacey.
And how are y'all doing today? How's the vibes out there? Because they tense over here.
Tense over here.
I mean, actually, I'm in a very, very good mood today for having just ended a thing with someone I was seeing last night. Yeah. It's like surprising. I'm like, I woke up and I was like, this is relieving.
Some higher power been protecting you.
Yeah, no, when I asked for that, I asked for that in this scenario because I was recently seeing someone and it was a very interesting it was very, very interesting experience. I don't even know where to begin, but like just slowly getting to know this person. And I'd been told kind of like, hey, like, you know, don't get to know this person. Be careful. Yeah, be careful with this person. And I'm such a, like we've discussed, like a yes person, and I like to experience life to the fullest. And I like to feel all the feelings. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was weird. Like we didn't even sleep together. But I met his parents, and we went to like, it was a very weird month. Mm-hmm. And what I've noticed this past year is guys will come to me and like, you know, I'm super picky. So like it takes quite a bit for me to even like agree to things, I guess. But guys will come to me and like ask me, pursue me. And then when it starts getting like serious, then they're like, never mind. And I'm like, and with this in particular, like literally that is what they were like, it's getting very serious. I'm a mess. I can't. Mm-hmm. And like they really are. And I saw that, like they're a mess. But I had asked whatever higher power, I'm like, if this person is not for me, please take him from me, because mm-hmm. like I'm not gonna be able to do it at this point. But like it's just like a pattern here that I'm like, I feel like these guys go for just like girls, and then it's like there's such a vast fucking difference in girls and women that I see here.
The pond you're fishing in is
the pond.
You know, like, the pond. Yeah, I think you need to get like scooped up and put into another pond. But
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. But no, like it was very much like I woke up and I was like, it's a weird thing. It sucks to kind of go through it. No one likes that, because if you like someone, you know, I'm the type of person that if I like somebody, I like to see it through until like the end, because like it takes so much for me to find a human connection at this point. But it just was such a weird start. Like it was like, okay, so it's like one thing in this scenario, like it's one thing to be like, you know, dating people and getting to know each other and stuff like that. But then when you're dating someone and then they find out about the other person that they're dating, and like, it's just like this whole blow up of like drama. And I'm just like, where am I? Like, it
went through a lot.
This relationship that I was in with this person went through a lot, and it was getting like, we were having like serious conversations, and I was just like, this is a lot. And so I guess I'm just like, I woke up, and as bummed as I was, I'm like, woke up and I was like, oh, this is like relieving, because I don't think that I don't know.
It was stressful. There was a lot.
It taught me a lot too, because I was like, it was the first time I had a serious conversation like that since, I guess I was engaged, like that relationship, and that very much scared me. I was just like, I don't know why we're having these conversations, even if like I brought it up or he brought it up. Like it doesn't, but it taught me that it just taught me even more than ever the right type of person like that you're supposed to be with. And like we have just like kind of like what we wrote down for that shoot is like no communication is communication. Take mixed signals as a no. Like all these things, those came from this relationship. Yeah, our experiences. And it's just been like we're good. Like, I'm very like relieved, but I'm just so confused at the dating scene here. I'm just like
the patterns the situations that you've been in. It's been a pattern, and
right?
It's just these men pursue you, boys. These boys pursue you, and so these boys really try and pursue you. And then you're a woman, like you know how to communicate. You have boundaries, like you have all of these things, and these boys are like, oh, like. She's an adult.
Yeah,
I can't.
Me communicating.
When it gets serious, they're like, oh no, like, that's not what I'm prepared for.
I know. I've noticed that. I'm like, it's hard for me to find. It's not hard for me to find like men out here. It's hard for me to find the kind of man that I want that can be on my level. Mm-hmm. That's so hard for me to find. And I'd found that with this person creatively. I was like, they are the best at what they do. We vibe in every single aspect with that. Like we could talk on the phone for like 3 hours. And it's just like, I've never dated anybody that I had that much respect for when it came to a creative field. And so it was just interesting, and it's not something that I've ever really had. But then it's like, okay, I've been looking for this person that's like so creative, blah, blah, blah. But then there's all these other things. And I'm like, why can't, it's like, what do they call it?
Teeter-tottering? I say teeter-tottering.
Seesaw?
Yeah.
Is it seesaw? Oh my God. And I'm just like, damn, when is that going to like level out?
I mean, I really cannot wait to like, because we were talking about it last night, like, I feel like I'm always like the one chasing somebody else, you know, right. Like I feel like I'm the one that's like in my head, like, okay, like wanting more, like what the fuck? Like I'm so excited to find a connection where we're like equal, like it's equal,
right?
Like to be equally like supported and in love and obsessed with each other and like creatively on the same level. Like I just cannot wait for that equality.
I know. I can't either. I don't even pursue these people. Like I don't know the situations that I've gone through this year that have kind of like fucked with me. I didn't even know who these fucking people were. Mm-hmm. They came into my life and pursued me, and then when it got to the point, I'm like, okay, what's up? And they're like, oh, this is getting serious. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
that's how every conversation is
over
gone.
40.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't get it, but this is like all along with like the emotional growth and the emotional intelligence thing, like that's a thing. And as much of like a creative person like I would need, I also very much need someone that's emotionally intelligent, like on my level. Mm-hmm. Like I cannot. Like, that's why you know, it's just been one.
Emotional intelligence is
so
hot as fuck.
It is hot as fuck. God. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm in a way better mood today than I thought that I would be for what had happened. Mm-hmm. And we good. And so we've been saying like this, I feel like the theme is the next phase of this podcast is like, we are saying yes to shit, and we're just doing that because we're immersing ourselves, not only for ourselves, but for this podcast.
Yeah.
It's our driving
research.
Yeah. We're diving in like all the time.
Yeah.
And so
it's so cool that our lives and our work is like, my life is my work is my life.
Yeah. And people,
I'm not saying like, oh, like I love work. Like I'm just saying, like I'm just living.
Yeah, no. And
cool.
I think that people don't understand how much eat, sleep, and breathe this fucking podcast. Like
Y'all
y'all have no idea. We are working on it all the time, and our other jobs. I also do photography. I also run an Airbnb. What else do I do?
Interior design.
What else? There's some other shit, but
yeah. What do you? There's some other things.
There's some other things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, presets. I'm like creating all that. Okay. So yeah, like we're immersing ourselves for this stuff, and one of that is like part of that is kind of like bringing on these guests and finding these people and like going out and meeting people that know people and like asking. And today's guest we had on Trixie, or God Jesus, we have been saying Trixie. We've had on today's guest we had on Dixie Krystal, and we found her through saying yes and opportunities here in Denver, meeting other creative people here through Hannah and through her knowing people. And it's just like, we wouldn't even meet these people if it weren't for saying yes. And so to kind of like talk about today's guest, she's our first drag entertainer. Yeah. And I'm blown away by her. This was kind of like on a whim. We had another guest scheduled and they canceled, and we're like, no, like we have to fill in the spot. And it just like it all worked out. I love this more. Like I'm like, oh my God, wait, a drag entertainer. Yes.
I have never been
around
like a drag. She was a drag queen.
Yeah.
Or would she consider herself a drag queen?
I think she says now drag entertainer.
Okay.
Is what
we've
learned.
Okay. Yeah. We learned so much about the drag history, the drag culture. She's been doing drag for 25 years, which is crazy. And I was just so enamored by her. This loud vibrancy. I don't know, man. It was so entertaining.
I just get my energy is just like, it's like like whenever I'm around that, you know, like that type of vibe and energy is just so like intoxicating, you know, like in the best way.
It's contagious.
And she taught us so much. There's like a million other questions that I wanted to ask her, but like as far as like her own journey and like the things that she does, she doesn't just do drag. Like she does so much within the community, and it's just it was really, really good and eye-opening to hear her talk about that, and just to hear her see her personality. And it just was like,
it's things like this that I'm so thankful to have this podcast, because I'm learning so much like there's just so much out there that I have no idea about.
This past year I've just been like, I want to learn everything and I don't care what it takes. I'm just like, that's why I go out and I talk to people, and I'm like, I'm asking them questions, and I'm just like, I just want to learn, like, what the fuck? And because I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be really good at school now, but maybe not. But
I feel the same way too. I hate that I was such a little bullshit, like 18, 19-year-old. I didn't give a fuck. Now I'm just like, oh, I want to know like the history. Like I want to know so much about the world and cultures and people and what's happened.
I know. I'm like, did drugs help with that? Psychedelics?
I don't know. It's just maturity. Like
probably some.
Yeah, some.
But yeah, I mean, this was a really good interview, you guys. And I feel like, you know, first drag entertainer. I definitely want to have so many more people on from that whole world, because there's so much to learn in that area. Like, yeah. But until then,
without further ado,
I was like, complete my sentence.
Oh, my bad. Without further ado, let's hop into the episode.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome. Today we have an awesome guest on, Dixie.
Yes.
Dixie Krystals.
Yes, honeys.
Yes. Yeah. You're already amazing.
I think this is like my first time, I think, being so close to a drag queen.
Really?
Yeah.
In the daylight even, so don't look too close.
Okay, wait. Yeah. Tell us who are you? Tell us about yourself.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, introduce.
Well, honeys, my name is Dixie Krystals, and I am a tall glass of sweet iced tea. Yes, honeys. I have been doing drag. This is my 24th year of doing drag.
24?
Yeah. Can you tell why I get Botox and everything else? Yes, I know. It's craziness. I started as a hobby just to get into the nightclubs for free. In the 90s because I was a poor Disney employee. And so I needed to dress up in wig and heels just to get in for free.
Wait, so you worked for Disney?
I did for 10 years.
As what?
I was a singer.
Oh my God.
At the parks?
Yeah, Walt Disney World.
What did you,
Yes.
did you dress
Who
up as a
are you?
character?
Well, I started doing that. That was the first gig that I had there as I opened the 25th anniversary parade. Now we're in the 50th year, so that was a long time ago.
Wow.
So I did the parade as a dancer, and I was what were called court dancers. So we were the beginning procession to Cinderella's castle. And then after that, I worked a couple years, and then I went into the performance side, the professional side, the equity side of doing singing. And so when I finished there, I was working with the Voices of Liberty, which is an Americana a cappella group, world renowned. They travel across the world still singing, and it was hard.
Yeah.
You get a book, and it's like 700 songs that you have to learn.
Wow.
Because at any given day, they'll just pick out 10 songs for your set, and you have to know it. You can't think about it. You just have to be like, okay, well, I know that song. Here we go.
This is the Disney franchise?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
How long? And you did that for 10 years?
I was there for 10 years.
Did you love it?
I liked it.
I liked it. Was that like one of your first jobs?
It was my very first job out of college. So I went to school in New York City for musical theater, and then I got recruited by Disney to go to Florida, and then that's where everything started.
Wow, New York City for musical theater?
Yeah.
So
You've been with the big dogs.
I've been around.
Yeah.
Just like syphilis.
Wait, so then where are you from?
I am from a little tiny town called Curwensville, Pennsylvania.
Wait, is that near Lancaster?
No. But there are Amish people in town.
That's where it is.
They didn't live there when I was a child. The Amish moved in like maybe 15 years ago when all the coal mines started to leave our town. And so they bought the farmlands from the people that used to work in the coal mines. So now I would say it's a 50-50. My population in my hometown is only 2,820 people. That's it. And so
2,000.
very small. The closest big city is State College, where Penn State University is.
Okay.
That's usually what people know about. Or I-80 goes right through our hometown.
Okay.
No one knows. I've only met one other person that knew where my hometown was, and I about fell on the floor.
I would
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was checking their ID at a bingo, and my tampon almost fell out. I mean, it was that much of a thing.
I want to pick up some of your lingo.
No, you're gonna leave and like Lacey's gonna start talking like
I love that.
I'll
leave my mark.
Wait, so then you go from Pennsylvania to then New York?
To New York City, yeah. I went to school there. I was there for 4 years.
Wow.
And I had every intention of staying, but then it was just like open audition call season, and I was like, I'm in college. Let's go do this thing. And I was like, Disney, that would be kind of fun. And my friend went. And so we both got hired for the Christmas season that very first year that we auditioned.
For Florida? Or?
For Florida.
Okay.
And we were there. I was only going to stay for the 3-month contract that it was. And then afterwards, they were like, would you like to stay on full time? And I was like, well, I don't have any other job to go back to. And New York is really expensive. And now I'm out of college. So yes, I would love to stay and have a job for $4 an hour.
Did you
Wait,
like
what?
living in-
What?
Wait,
Sure.
for $4?
My starting wage was $4.10 an hour.
Is that what it was
In
like back in the day?
1996.
Was that standard?
It was standard. And now they still only pay the very bare minimum wage, which is like $8.30 in Florida.
What is their perk to that? Like
that you have all that Disney magic.
No.
You get to get in the
And
park
it's good
for
on your
free.
resume. And yes,
okay.
but not everywhere does it look good on your resume. I would go to musical theater auditions, and as soon as I'd put Disney, they'd be like, and they would look over you. So there were some places I knew casting directors that did not care about the Disney thing. So I would just leave it off the resume. And they're like, is this your first job? And I'm like, it's actually not, but I know you don't like Disney, so I didn't put it on my resume.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, so when it came to like being in New York or whatever, like, did you ever see yourself going the Broadway route or no? Or?
Yes, a little bit of everything. And my life is kind of topsy-turvied into every little avenue. Like my life changed when I started doing drag more as a full-time basis. And so I've been doing more professionally as I dress up as a woman. Because being a singer, it's like, you're a dime a dozen, but you put on a frock and you start singing, and that's different.
Oh,
They don't have that in every city. And so that is the niche that I have.
Wow. So
Okay.
did you start doing that after Disney or during?
After. So during Disney, I did start doing it just to get in the clubs for free, literally. Like I looked a hot fucking mess.
Did someone influence you to do that? Like,
Yes.
what was the idea?
So I worked with a person that was a huge drag star in Puerto Rico. Oh, wow. And Joshua was his name. He actually just retired after 35 years at Disney this year. And so he brought my roommate and I over one night to show us his drag closet because he hadn't done it for a while. And we did this show called Out of Fur Follies that happened with cast members. So people would get up and show their talents, and it was this big elaborate variety show. So we went to get costumes, and we walk in and I'm just like, what is all of this? Like, we had no idea. And he showed us photographs and all of these things. Then moving to Colorado, fast forward, Nina Flowers was his drag daughter who was on season 1 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And is a resident, used to be a resident here of Denver, and now worldly famous DJ and drag superstar and DJs around the world. So it was weird to have those two connections on both ends, but that's how I got started in it, and it was literally just to get in for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I often leave people speechless.
Okay, so but it was to get into the clubs in Orlando.
Yeah.
Was that like a policy? Or?
Well, they had one night a week. It was usually Thursday nights that if you came in drag, you got in for free.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
like
Anyone. We used to take our female roommates with us, and they thought that they were drag queens. Like, because we would make them up and put wigs on them and just hike up their titties. And
how fun.
yeah.
That is so fun. And so at what point did you start performing? Like, when did this mesh crossover?
Yeah.
When did you stop doing, or
Well, wait, did you? Okay, wait. No, wait. Did you go from Florida to Denver?
I did go from Florida to Denver. Yes.
Yeah, so did you start performing here in Denver, or like?
So I started performing in Orlando, just very little. Like I didn't do it all the time because it was still very much weird to me. Like I was like, I was young. I didn't really care. I was like, it gets me in places for free. Let's do it. So I performed only 3 times when I lived in Orlando.
Wow.
And so then it started kind of this culmination of things. And then when I moved to Denver, I started auditioning. I took like maybe 5 years of a break from performing. When I moved here, got a real job. And
what was your real job?
I was a concierge. Yeah. And then I worked for an HOA management company as the events director, and I managed 90 people. And it's like, I've managed to do all different things in my life. I've worked in kind of every sector of life.
I love that.
That is really cool.
Yeah. And then here, 2015 was when I started. I auditioned just to get back into the musical theater scene. I thought, they're doing Lacage. I'm like, oh, that'd be a fun show to do. I'm like, let me just go and audition to get, grease the wheels a little bit, get back up in the horse. And so went and did it and got the job, like after 5 auditions. And people were like, who are you? Like, where have you been? Where did you come from? And I showed up to the audition in full drag. Like no one knew. I had never auditioned for a show in Denver or Colorado ever. And people didn't know who I was. So they were just like, we're mesmerized.
Yeah.
Like, who are you and where did you come from?
Were they expecting someone in drag?
No.
Oh,
So they
wow.
expected that on the callback audition. They wanted people to come in drag. But I was like, well, if I'm I'm going to go whole hog here. I'm just going to go do it. Like, let's go in there. So I went in, I was in full drag, and I was ready to go. And I walked in and people were like, okay,
Wow.
you mean business? I'm like, well, I'm just practicing, but I'll take the job too.
So that kind of spawned like.
It did. It kind of sparked everything. And then after I did the show, I got a couple of awards for that here locally. And so it was just kind of one of those things. I was like, okay, all that I did was put on a dress and a wig. And this is what happened. And I was like, you know what? We're just going to go back to doing this, all the time. So I kind of, because I had my muggle job, it was kind of trying to figure out how I interweave the two together. So I started off really small, just doing, pop-up gigs once a month, twice a month, things of that nature. And then when I left that job 3 years ago, and now I'm working for a nonprofit, I was like, well, now I can kind of make my own schedule, do whatever I want to. So it's like kind of gone into this whole catalyst of craziness. Like now I'm traveling to New York 5 or 6 times a year, and it's all just happened within the last 5 years of really, and people are just like, where did you come from? And I'm like, well, I do everything really well. And then I come out of the gate.
Yeah. Damn. Wait, can anybody be in drag? You said girls like
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So there are AFAB, which is assigned female at birth, AMAB, assigned male at birth performers. So in the drag world, we've kind of gone away from drag queen, drag king, and we use the word drag entertainer because that's encompassing of everybody that wants to try this style of drag. Because it's not just for, I mean, yes, it did start with drag queens, and that's what a lot of white girls want to see and white straight men, they want to see a drag queen. But there are all different kinds of entertainers in the world.
So what would we have to do for it to be considered drag? Entertaining.
Oh, for you? Like you have to come up with a concept. Like people think it's just like putting on a costume and then lip syncing to a song. But it's figuring out what music speaks to you and how you perform it. Like, do you pick something that you really enjoy?
Are they all singers?
No,
Okay,
most people
'cause I
lip
can't
sync.
I would lip sync.
There are a lot of burlesque dancers that also perform.
We could do that.
hot.
It's fabulous. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just amazing to see a drag entertainer and then all of a sudden it turns into a burlesque show and people do not expect it. And it's fairly new. Like
Yeah.
people aren't used to it yet, but they need to because it's happening and it's here to stay. Yeah.
So would it be weird if women did it? Is that weird?
No, because we have them now. So in Denver, we have like maybe a dozen of AFAB performers, and some of them sing, some of them do burlesque, some of them are dancers, some of them are aerialists. So they have like an act that they do, and then there are others that just simply go out and kill a lip sync. Like that's what they're known for.
I guess I've seen one drag show in my life, and I'll never forget it. But I didn't see any women there, and I felt like that would have been weird. I don't know why.
It's just kind of
because it's new.
You've never seen any different.
Wow. But I've seen like women dancers, or like entertain. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So wait, how's your family like with you doing drag and everything like that? Do they even care?
Oh, they don't care.
Initially.
Initially, my parents, because my dad is a Methodist pastor. And and they were very embracing when I didn't come out until late in age. I was probably 24 years old. Actually, I was 23 when I came out. That's the year I met my husband.
Okay.
And so as
I
soon
didn't
as
know you were married.
Yes. We just celebrated 23 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we met at Disney. He was my audio engineer while I was singing there. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cute.
AOL chat room. That's how we met.
Damn, yes.
Dial up.
Okay, one time when chat rooms were a thing, I went into there's a Sailor Moon chat room. It was like SailorMoon.com, and my screen name was Britney Spears, and I acted like I was Britney Spears in there.
Oh my God. That's why we need to free that bitch.
And the people were like, "You're not her." I was like, "Yes, I am."
Yes, I am. Let me sing for you.
I've never told anybody that. So I just tell thousands of people.
Well,
right
now you tell the world.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's cool that they're like so like chill with it now.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, it's funny because a lot of performers, they can't separate their personal life from their drag life because they do coincide so much together, especially when you're working a lot. So the two worlds can mesh together. So sometimes my husband will be like, "Okay, it's time for Dixie to take a break for the week."
Oh, what would that be? Like, what would that?
So I just don't do anything for like maybe a week or two.
But so like,
he's like, you need to like get back in touch with John. Like you need to figure that out. And
is there things that you do like just
are there
like
any
as John that
shifts?
is Dixie like that?
Oh, everything. And that's the thing is I've done this for so long that they just kind of cross over, and then I don't even realize that I'm doing it until I take the wig off, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I'm a bitch right now.
Yeah. Oh wow. So is that like part of the whole like how would you describe this persona or like this? Like, how would you describe Dixie?
Dixie is way over the top. I'm all about comedy and singing and making people laugh. Like, if you come to my show, I'm not going to tear you down as an audience member. I'm going to help uplift you.
Does that happen?
It does happen a lot. So that's the biggest thing about drag is that a lot of drag queens, when you go to see the older drag queens, much older than I am, they will try and tear down the audience. They make more fun of people on their looks and what they're wearing.
I would cry.
Yeah. It's awkward to be in the room when that happens because my whole body just cringes and I'm just like, ew.
That's not how it goes
I know.
anymore.
I know. It's just really different for me. And that the reason I got started to do drag was to be able to give back to community and to be able to lift people up, because we have so many things in society that are there to tear people down, and I want to celebrate people. So, a lot of times when you come to my shows, I mean, I will get raunchy because I read the audience. That's the greatest thing about being an actor that does drag, is that when your audience is bored or if they're going to go there. Like, I've been in a room of blue hairs and like old ladies. I call them blue hairs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Little blue hairs.
You've been in a room of old women.
Oh yes. And so I got hired at a country club like 2 months ago to do drag queen bingo, and it was a Golden Girls theme. Hello, I'm there all day long. So I was dressed up as Dorothy, and we were watching episodes, and there were literally 200 people in this country club, and I walk in, and you would think that I was Satan himself walking into the room. Well, they knew, but I don't think they knew.
Yeah.
And so I'm talking to people, and all the old men are just like, what is happening?
Oh yeah.
So then I go there with the bingo numbers because I'm calling them out, and they're jokes for every time you go to a drag bingo, you're going to hear the same fucking jokes all day long. Oh yeah.
Okay.
How do you catch the eye of a Catholic priest? B13. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never heard of these jokes.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite numbers is B15. That's how you get on R. Kelly's guest list.
Oh, wow, so you were cracking these jokes.
Oh yeah. I started with the R. Kelly one because I knew they wouldn't know who he was.
So get that out of the way.
And I had 5 ladies in the back that were you could tell like they were the Real Housewives of Castle Rock. And so they were in the back, they were cackling, they had 17 martinis each. And I was like, okay, well, I'm here for them this evening.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. Because I'm probably never coming back here again.
Right.
So I'm just going to let it go. So B13 came up, and I sure did call that number. And I said, to catch the eye of a Catholic priest, you must be 13. Crickets. All of a sudden, everyone in the room got it. These old ladies were cackling like there was nobody's business. And I was like, okay, this is an audience that I had wrong, and they're ready to go there. So I took it dirty all night long. Then I found out after the fact the guy who hired me got fired because of the jokes that I told.
What? Why?
Because he brought me in, which was the weirdest thing ever. And he's like, aren't you trying to diversify what you offer at your country club? Like, I mean, they promoted that. I knew people there. There were people that belonged to the country club that I knew that had young families, and they've been to story times that I've done and bingos, and they were having a grand old time. But obviously, the right people went and complained.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what did they? So everybody like loosened up though later. Was it fine?
They did. Everyone had such a great time because they were pounding down martinis like it was nobody's business. I mean, literally, there were like you were in Vegas because I mean these old ladies had 15 martinis in front of them. And they were all empty glasses. I was like, are these weak martinis or what is happening?
They're just fucking throwing them back.
I know. And I said, you probably all do this on a daily basis anyway, so this is nothing different. Have another martini.
Yeah.
Here you
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever have people that are like rude to you?
On rare occasion, but I just give it back.
Good.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times it's heckling when people are driving by in a car, which is, because people, it's like keyboard courage, but it's their steering wheel courage. But they get really scared when I start running after them. Because I've done that before. Because you're going to hit a stoplight. Like, especially if you're downtown and you yell something, you're going to hit a stoplight, fucker. Like, I know you are.
That you do that.
Oh, yeah.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
Yeah, you're
Without heals and hair.
Yeah.
No, whenever
He walked in and I was like, oh my God, you're so tall. Like, wow.
Damn. Well, okay, so do you have like a chosen family out here?
I do. I really do. And it's interesting because where I come from, I mean, my whole family, we all get along so well. So I don't come from a broken family, which most drag entertainers do. And that's when they find their family within their chosen family. But I do have those people here. Like my best friend in drag is Shirley Delta Blow. And we do so many shows together, but she and her husband just became our neighbors. They bought a house a block and a half away from us in September during the pandemic. So we see each other every day. Okay. Like I have my people, my pod is what I call them. Like I have 6 people that I know that I can call at any time to do anything for me at the last minute. And it will happen. Just like what happened yesterday. I'm outside sunbathing as I was supposed to be working from home. And Zara texted me and she's like, can you do a podcast tomorrow? And I was like, for you, anything.
Yay, okay. Well, thank God.
You know, and that's the crazy thing is that we all know who to go to
Yeah.
when something comes up, either last minute or if we can't do it and we need someone else to do it, we call those people that we trust. And I literally have 6 people I can call anytime and that would happen.
Wow, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Why did you pick Denver?
Denver, my husband grew up here, so he
Okay.
went to elementary school and college here. But I wanted to keep the same thing that I had in Florida and move it somewhere where there was scenic area. So, I mean, we have the same amount of sunshine here. I also worked on cruise ships after Disney. And so I went to Alaska for 9 months in one of my
Wow.
contracts. And I came home and I was like, hey, if we want to move, like, let's do it now. But we had just built our dream house in Florida, thought we would never move. We were in it for 4 years, sold it, and moved to Denver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Built your own home.
Yeah,
That's so exciting.
I know.
Well,
It's crazy.
Where did you get the name Dixie?
So it's funny.
I imagine so.
Picture it. 1996, Lake Buena Vista, Florida, at a Perkins restaurant. You know what Perkins is?
No.
It's like a Denny's, but only better.
Okay.
Yeah, better everything.
okay.
It's mostly in the South, and I think they go a little into the middle. Who knows?
We're from Arkansas. We have.
Oh, you should know Perkins.
I don't.
I haven't seen a Perkins.
Not in Arkansas.
I don't think so.
You probably got the
Interesting.
Awful House.
Oh,
We got the. We got
oh,
the
is that
Waffle
what we're
House.
comparing it to?
Yeah.
Okay, then
but
yes,
it's
we
better
have that.
than the Awful House.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
It's bougier.
That.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you take that and a Mimi's Cafe, you mash them together,
Oh,
and
we
that's
have
what
a
you got.
Mimi's. Okay.
Yeah. So we used to go there after rehearsals because we would have overnight rehearsals that would go to like 4 or 5 in the morning at Disney. So a group of 30 of us would go almost every day and go have our little Perkins breakfast. And I was having coffee and I had the sugar packets. Well, the sugar packet name was Dixie Krystals, but it's crystals with a C. So they've been around forever and ever and ever. I had a different name that was given to me by my roommates, but it was not an appropriate name.
Okay.
So I left it behind. And then I saw the sugar packet and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. That rolls right off the tongue. Dixie Krystals. And that's how I got my name. But fast forward 5 years after that, I got a cease and desist letter from them because as I started working more, my name was publicized. And so I was using their spelling, which they have a copyright for.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you were
So-
using it with the C.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I changed it to a K and done.
Wow, that's so crazy that they found out about you.
Oh, yeah. That's what I said too. I said, I've made it when sugar knows about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so no one can use that name?
No, I'm sure they have probably a researcher, but there is a band called the Dixie Krystals and they spell it with a C. So she and I have become good friends on the Instagram. And so she'll message me all the time, like, girl, you're going to get a cease and desist letter. Like,
I mean,
change it.
can you do that to, like, can someone that does drag do that to their name? Like, can they?
You can trademark it.
I thought you could only like copyright or trademark something in that category. So like they're in food and beverage
Yeah.
or sugar, and you're like in entertainment.
Right. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
It's just,
I
it's
wonder
very
if
strange.
They could have actually even done anything.
Probably. I mean, what are they going to get out of me?
Like,
A silicone titty? I mean, come on. You want some eyelashes?
I guess. Like, well, what was your first experience doing drag like? Like what?
Yeah.
Like how was it nerve wracking?
It was terrifying.
Terrifying.
It was terrifying because I had, I was used to being on stage, but not dressed as a woman. And so my first time, I was just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, what's coming out of my mouth? Because I was lip syncing and I was just like, watermelon, watermelon, watermelon.
What was the first song?
Finally.
Wait,
Do
fine.
you know that song? Finally, it has happened
Oh,
to
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
right in front
Yeah.
of my face.
That's a good one.
It was a really good one. And I could dance then, so I danced the hell out of it. And I was this dripping mess. My eyelashes fell off before the end of the number. I went to the bathroom, and because I used, like Wet n Wild cosmetics from Walgreens. You didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
any better.
Yeah.
It was all melted off my face. So I basically just took a towel and went and just walked around in my wig and no face on and my my janky ass costume. I didn't care. I was already in for free. And so, yeah, but the very first person I performed in front of, her name was Carmela Marcela Garcia, God rest her soul. She passed away a few years ago. She was known as the comedy queen of Orlando. Very large and in charge and very mouthy. And so she kind of took me under her wing and she was like, girl, we're going to fix you up.
Wow.
And so she became my very first person. I never really called her a drag mother because we didn't have that much time together. It's just that we had the sporadic times that we did have. I knew that I could go back to her to get advice or just kind of say, hey, what do you think of this? And she'd be like, no. Yeah.
Wow. Well, how did your first show make you feel? Like,
I don't, for me, it was just a weird feeling because I felt like I did such a great job, but then people have shared pictures with me from the past, and I look at that and I was like, oh my God.
But maybe back then it was
okay because that's the thing of drag when it started back. I mean, drag has been around for hundreds of years. And so when you get to a certain part, like now we have RuPaul's Drag Race. So that mainstream has put the catalyst on all these different makeup tips and the way that you think people should look in drag. But that's everyone's art. It's your art. It depends on if you want to look more feminine or if you want to look more show over the top. Like for daytime, I'm not going to do any of the over the top stuff because you can see all the imperfections. There's never going to be a perfect face in the daylight. I mean, we are men for the most part. And stubble happens and, you see everything.
So is this daytime vibes?
This is a daytime vibe.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Okay.
So like,
Wow.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
But I've seen photos.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the photos that I've seen maybe like on your feed or daytime.
Oh yeah,
too. Or nighttime.
Nighttime, yeah. It's all like because I love doing photo shoots. That's what I did during quarantine. I think I did maybe 17 or 18 different photo shoots during quarantine. Yeah.
Wow.
My brother makes a lot of my costumes, so I have an idea. I sketch it out. He creates the pattern.
Wow. That's so nice.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess as far as like your look, who inspires your look, your vibe? Like, is there anybody, or do you just kind of like come up with it all on your own?
So it's changed over the years, but my 2 inspirations are always going to be Dolly Parton and Bette Midler. Those are my 2 inspirations for everything that I do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I also like to jazz it up. Like I love to be elegant, but I also like to be, like today I feel like Sporty Spice and I'm just like, throwing a cute little sundress and be done with it.
Yeah.
And it's those times that I'm just like, because I am passable. And when I say passable, most people think I'm a female when I'm in my day drag look. If I didn't have this wig on and more of a, an everyday hairstyle, people would never know what I have between my legs because I get mistaken for. I take after my mother, very female.
Wow.
I have good cheekbones, good skin.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm passable.
How long does it take you to like get? I guess
glam.
for a daytime, how long does it take you to get ready?
Well, anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, and then even the other stuff I can do in 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it down to like I know my facial features and I know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So I don't experiment anymore.
Yeah.
Like I have 8 different looks that I rotate through. And sometimes it'll just be maybe a little higher, a little edgier. Maybe the brow goes up a little bit. It just depends on what I'm wearing that day.
How does drag just in general make you feel? What is it?
For me, it makes me feel empowered.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that is because I am a man dressing as a woman, and I feel that my empowerment helps empower women because I'm listened to. Where you could be in the room having the same conversations that I would have her talk about, but people are going to listen because they come in first with a preconceived notion of what you're going to talk about. But for me, I don't have that.
Yeah.
It's because they're looking and thinking, is this a woman or is this a man or who am I listening to? Or gosh, it's so intriguing. So there's other things going on in people's minds when you're talking to them. And I also just like making people feel good. That's the biggest thing for me. It's just like having fun. The day that I lose having fun is the day that I'll stop.
Yeah.
I mean, because then there's no point to do it at that time.
That's what someone said to me. They said that I can't remember who this was, but they said don't go into drag for looking to be successful. You look, or if you go into drag with the mindset that you're going to be successul, then you're not doing it for the right reasons.
Correct.
You only go into drag just to have fun, and if you get successful, that's a perk.
Right.
Like
Absolutely. That's the limo ride.
Yeah.
Like that's the part that's fun about it. And Drag Race has been a good thing and a bad thing for the art form, I'll say, because people only think that what they see on television is correct.
Okay.
when it's not.
Yeah.
You're only looking at 13 people out of probably 4 million people that do the art of drag.
Right.
So, it's one of those things that you are subjecting yourself to being on television. Now they know that we're further into seasons, but in the beginning they didn't know that. So the people that participated in the show are having residual effects of depressing, and they got out of the business altogether because the backlash was horrible. They had horrible, like, social media is awful, and especially when you're in this realm of entertainment, and it's that way with everything. I think if you're a singer, if you're a musician, an artist, people just like to go on. You have those trolls that just like to bash, and that's why I'm always like, don't ever read your comments. Just don't read them, because who cares? These people aren't involved in your decision making of your life.
I just feel like people that are mean to people online, I call them like swamp people.
Yes.
Swamp people.
I call them swamp asses.
Swamp asses.
Wow.
I just picture like nasty, like just unhappy people, and uneducated, like not no emotional or intelligence or growth. They're just like, because I can't imagine doing that at this time of my life. So
They only watch HGTV
yes, and
QVC, and that's it. And they're sitting in their lazy boy,
the lazy
knocking
boy.
back bonbons.
Probably like some type of Fox News or something.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know the history of drag? Like, I don't know any. Like,
I do.
Yeah, can you explain the history?
Oh my gosh! So it started in like the 13th century. Was the first documented person dressing in drag, and it was in Japan.
What?
Yes. And then you fast forward to like the 1700s, and that's art form of drag happened when they didn't allow women to perform. So in ancient Roman times, it was always the men that played every role in a performance. And if there was a female written into the show, the man would have to play the female part. And it was done with masks and wigs attached to the masks made out of horsehair. Then you go even fast forward, then you get into the 1930s and 40s, and then you have your very first black person that has kind of just blown the doors open on the drag community and is the first documented official drag queen.
Wow.
And that was in like 1942, 1943, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's just kind of spiraled into what it is. It was illegal back in the 50s and 60s. There were a lot of underground clubs, especially in places like San Francisco, New York, Chicago, because it was all run by the mob. So the mob wanted the freak show to be a part of their nightclubs for people to come. And so people would come dressed as women, or women would come dressed as men, and they would try and fool the other patrons that were in the underground clubs that the mob owned. Yeah. Every gay bar in New York City used to be owned by the mob until 1969 when Stonewall happened.
The mob is something that's very foggy to me. Maybe we should add that to our podcast.
Ooh, you
We're
should.
gonna have someone from the mob on.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I just hear the mob.
We've learned about pimps and the mob now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
where was I for the pimps?
That was a wild ride. We interviewed a girl that did bookkeeping for a strip club for 2 years, and so we learned so much about that area.
Was she's at Shotgun Willie's?
No, she was in
but
Dallas.
Oh,
I
in
keep
Dallas.
hearing about that. We went to our first strip club, and it was Platinum here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and that was a wild experience.
Oh, yes. That is where they had, what's the girl's name that slept with Donald Trump? What's her name? That he paid off her. She was there.
What?
Yeah.
Like working or like
Yeah,
visiting?
she came in as a special guest.
Platinum.
I keep using air quotes like people are going to hear my air quotes.
If they're watching it.
They're watching, they'll see. Yeah.
Okay, good. Air quotes.
Oh my god. Well, I guess to kind of get it back, like, is there like training for drag?
There really isn't, unless you become part of a drag family. Like, then you learn their way. But then again, that's only one house's way of learning to do something. For me, I feel like you just need to learn it the old school way, just on your own, and stumble. Like, you need to stumble, you need to fall, you need to be unsuccessful for a little while. That's why I hate American Idol, all this bullshit shows. I'm like, no, you need to work hard to get successful.
Right.
Like, it should not just happen to you because you're on a television show.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah. And you sign your life away for 10 years. Like, you can't do anything. You can't make any money of your own money from your own songs for 10 years.
That's the American Idol contract?
Yeah.
Wow.
No wonder. Oh my God. Then no wonder. Like most of the time when these people win, they just like disappear.
They do. They wait for their 10 years. Or
Wow,
they
so
just
like-
really weren't that talented to begin
So it's
with.
like Clay Aiken coming back at any point.
I used to call him Gay Clay Aiken before he came out of the closet. But yes, he's back every Christmas. He and Ruben Studdard do a show in Radio City Music Hall every Christmas together.
Wow.
Did you even watch that?
What?
That season of
Clay
American
Aiken.
Idol?
Are you old enough to know Clay Aiken?
No, I don't think so.
I was
She's 24. I'm 30.
Okay,
So-
then you would
She's
have been
not.
like 12.
Yeah.
yeah.
She wouldn't have known. I did.
I think
like
I was around for Carrie Underwood.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the only good season.
Yeah.
yeah.
We used to like be able to watch that in music class at my little private school, but then they wouldn't let us play any instruments. I've never
Interesting.
played an instrument. I've only played the kazoo.
At a music school.
No, at just a private
class?
school. Like in music class for
Okay.
8 years, and then they only let us play the kazoo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well-
I don't know what that has to do with this.
So
at all.
play a kazoo and you're probably going to like chirp like a bird or hop around like a monkey. They were probably sending those little...
I just like didn't understand the point of that. But yeah. Anyways.
In regards to TV, have you ever considered doing RuPaul?
I have auditioned twice, and then I was really glad that I didn't get picked. Nor did I think that I would, but I put a lot of money and effort into the video. The problem is then I know people that came from the show. So then I got all the little insider stuff, and then I
Yeah.
decided, that is not for me. I do not want to do that. I do not want to be... Because every reality show is scripted. I mean, it's never all reality. I mean, that's just the way it is because they need to make the show interesting. But the amount of money that people put into their costumes, especially now that we've gotten into further seasons of RuPaul's, because you see people and you're like, oh, well, I have to do better than that if I were to get on a season. So people take out loans for like $100,000 to build their costumes.
Is that how expensive it is?
Yes. What happens if you go home on episode 1? You can't pay back your costume designers. Nor can you pay your bills because you're going to get booked at places, but it's going to be less of a booking fee because you didn't make it to like the top 5 or top 10.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really crazy. So I don't have any interest to do that. I'm working with a company in New York now, not New York, in Los Angeles, and we are creating a docuseries about kid drag. So we're going to be working on that project very soon here in Denver, and it's all it's called Dragutante. And so it's kids that want to get into the art of drag, but they don't know where to do it. Like there's no place for them to do it. So we create this ball atmosphere where they come in and we pair them with another drag artist to get them a mentor. And then it grows into being a drag family for them that they can rely on. So this year in October will be the 3rd year of the ball of Dragutante.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you gonna try and pitch this show to networks?
Oh, it's already been done and signed, sealed, and delivered, and so they're in the casting process.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what's the age for that?
So the age is about 6 to 18.
And you started this?
No.
Oh.
So a family did. So Ophelia Peaches, which is a local used to be 13-year-old drag queen, wanted to do drag for her 13th birthday, and her mother was like, sure, let's do it. She's a great photographer in town. And so Robin, the mother, and another mother that she knew that her son wanted to do drag, they created this organization called Dragutante. And so I've been emceeing for the last couple of years, and Ginger Douglas, who's another drag entertainer that used to live here, who's now in California. So the 3 of them started the organization, and then now we're just kind of building on it and taking it to the next level.
Oh my God. Do you know the network? You probably can't tell.
I can't.
Damn.
All I can say is that's being cast as we speak for the kids.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And that'll be here?
Yeah, it's going to be because they're all based here in Denver and surrounding states. They're in like Wyoming. We also got some kids from Arkansas. So in this we wanted Midwest.
Okay.
Where there's no drag scene for kids.
Oh, that's so...
I can't wait to watch this.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've never wanted to kind of move out to LA or anything like that?
No, I go out every once in a while. I've been pitched so many shows or to be on like a lot of this game show bullshit. And for me, it's just when I look at the contract and then I'm like, like, what does that mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what does this mean? And then I take it to my attorney and he's like,
It's just a
can
lot.
they take it out? Like, can you scratch it
Yeah.
out? And a lot of the times they don't because they're like, this is our contract and you will sign the contract. Well, I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need television to get myself across on a platform. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
that. If it happens, it happens. That's great. But I want it to be on my terms.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be on someone else's terms. Unless there's a mutual beneficial like kind of agreement there that both parties are going to, get something out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess, is this something that you do every day?
Yes. So
wow.
drag, I do all the time. I work for a nonprofit. So I really say that
you are.
So nonprofit is a separate one. It's the GLBT Community Center of Colorado.
Wow.
So we're the community center for our queer community throughout the whole state of Colorado.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so we have Rainbow Alley, which is for kids. We have an elders program, transgender program, consulting. We run Denver Pride. We produce it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so that's my job that I get to do that, and so it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
So I've been involved with the organization for 7 years, but this is my 3rd year of being an employee.
Oh.
Before that, I volunteered my services.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
Wait,
Yeah.
so when you go into work, are you in drag? Or are
No.
You, just normal. Okay. That's what I was wondering. I was like,
But I sit at my desk with my mirror and put my face on,
Okay.
But I mean, it literally, like the month of June, I had 36 events on top of my job. So it was a lot of back and forth, and most of it I try and keep to the weekends, but there's a lot of stuff now that happens during the weekday and it's in the evening. So
there's so much going on here.
there's so much, and it just has kind of blown up over COVID because my home bar, the Triangle that I work at every Sunday, they really started bringing drag entertainers back. We started back last Memorial Day, and we were doing drive-through alcohol service. So people would come through and get their little pouch of mixed cocktails through the alley. The drag entertainers would be there to heckle with them and hand them their cocktail, all that kind of stuff. And so we started all that and then brought drag bingo because a lot of venues was like, we are never going to get to the point where we're doing drag bingo. It's just not going to. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck did bingo do to you? Are you traumatized as a child going with your grandmother to the VFW?
Yeah, bingo never did shit to anybody.
Oh. I'm like, don't shit all over bingo. It makes me a lot of money.
How do people find you and hire you? Like, how do you get clients?
A lot of stuff comes through word of mouth. I also have a website, so people will go to my website and there's like a booking where they can go on and inquire. But a lot of it is referral because I do a lot of emceeing and a lot of charity events and a lot of like big things. I'm getting ready to host a brunch fest. Which is coming up. It's like where all the restaurants put their favorite menu together from brunch.
Oh, wow.
And it's like $90 a person. And you go in and you drink all day long and you can sample from like 25 different restaurants that are hot in the brunch scene.
Where's that?
When is that?
It's going to be August 29th at the Yards.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yes, you should come.
Maybe.
No, wait. Summer camp.
No, that's
Like
a different
summer camp.
weekend.
Never mind. Maybe.
It's so Wait, so is there, I mean, like, have you ever gone to the grocery store and drag? Like, would we, like, run into...
Oh, I've gone if I forget like eyelash glue or
but
something.
that's the only, like, you wouldn't, like, run in and grocery shop like this
No, not unless I'm doing a video for social media.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I do silly shit all the time.
Okay.
And so I'll just be like, okay, well today I feel like going to the Goodwill shopping in drag. So let's just do that.
Man, okay.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
know
fun.
also, because we know you described what Dixie's like. What is John like?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I love this question.
John is an introverted extrovert.
Oh,
Me?
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I do too. I mean, is that the... Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, just because I've been performing my entire life, I always feel like I have to be on.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm off, I am like, it's a hard off for me. Like I don't want to move. I want to stay. I'm such a homebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for about the last 5-6 years, I'm just like, I'm not going out unless I'm getting paid. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Feel that.
I don't want to go struggle with parking. I don't want to deal with getting into the club. Like, I don't really care to sit around and my husband and I can have better drinks at home that I make. And it's like, that's just not our scene. We're too old for that shit.
Yeah.
And then you have all the people that are coming around, they're spilling drinks all over the place. And I'm just
Yeah.
oh my God,
Yeah.
like get away from me. And so I just don't want to do that anymore. So for us, like last night, it was so fabulous. I got fresh hamburgers and I grilled and we had a nice glass of wine and made a salad and we had the dog and we sat in the gazebo. Like it was just one of those things. And I'm just like, I looked at him and I said, it's been a long time since we've done this because the month of June was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So as soon as it was over, we went right to Vegas for 2 days to the pool. I'm like, we have got to go chill out. Like I need a relaxing break.
Yeah.
And so I got smashed on pina coladas for 2 days. Got on the airplane and came home. But yeah, no, I would say for me, I'm such a family person. Like I talk to my mom and dad almost every day.
Wow.
I talk to friends, and then there's just the times that I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. Like I just want to sit in my chair and watch Hulu. Like that's what I want to do.
I feel that hard. I love
because there's not enough downtime. Like I didn't take a break during COVID, so everyone else got a 3-month fucking vacation.
Yeah.
And I was still working virtually. Like every one of my clients, because I have a lot of global clients, and so they were like, "Hey, do you want to do a drag bingo? Do you want to host a happy hour?" And I'm like,
how do you host a happy hour?
"Oh, just on Zoom, honey."
But like, what do you do?
Oh, I would make cocktail recipes, and I would write them up for everybody, and so we would help make their own cocktails at home. I would play a movie in the background and heckle the hell out of the movie. Like there were so many weird things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
You just really know how to lead a crowd.
It's it's funny because everyone always says that when they see me perform for the first time, they're like, "You take over the stage," and I was like, "Well, I'm a performer. Like I should be filling every inch of a room." Well, if I had a nickel, fill me up, Daddy.
Wow, I love this.
See, I make myself laugh all the time. I tell people at my shows, I'm like, I'm really not here for your enjoyment. I'm here for my own enjoyment. Like, I'm here to make myself laugh. And if that happens, forget it. Then I'm on the floor for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This past weekend, I found a leaf blower at the bar. And I was like, oh, let's have fun with the leaf blower. So I was doing my Beyonce moment. And I had the leaf blower between my legs. Well, it vibrates pretty well. And I had on a loose dress, so I was not tucked. I was not impregnating myself. And so it went off and it vibrated in a certain spot. And I was just like, of course they got it on video. And I was like, what? And I didn't realize I didn't realize any of this was happening. I was just having my own little party in the corner. And then all of a sudden it was like, zzz, and I was like, oh!
I need this video so badly. Wait, so you mentioned the tucking thing.
Yes.
What?
You put your dick in your ass.
Wait,
basically.
do you really?
Yeah.
How?
With a lot of duct tape.
It's duct tape?
Yeah. So some people use duct tape. Some people use like a dance belt. So I use a dance belt because it's more comfortable.
What's a dance belt?
So a dance belt is what ballet dancers use, the men.
Okay.
That's got a string up the ass and
like
it's
a
got just a
thong?
little cup thing, but it's super like.
Okay, I think I've seen those.
Hurt?
Yes. Everything about drag hurts. Like everything.
I've always
The
wondered
corsets,
how people tuck.
the underwear, the tucking, the everything.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Did contouring come from drag?
Yes.
Yeah, I've like, I guess, seen that on social media.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did you just like YouTube like how to do like because I fucking suck at makeup. So
Well,
like,
it didn't exist. YouTube wasn't around.
Oh my god! So you just had to like.
So it was like you learn from other people. Like back in the day when I started, other people would paint my face and then they would take pictures. You go to Walgreens, get them printed, and that became your canvas. Like they would take a picture of every step of the way, and that's how you taught yourself.
Whoa.
Back in the day to do makeup that fit your face, because these older queens that have been around for already by then 40 years, they knew exactly what to do, and so they would help you in that realm of getting ready, and then it was up to you after that. Like you go to Walgreens, get your Wet n Wild for $1.99, and away you go.
And away you go. I learned to do makeup in high school from YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's so many makeup artists that are on YouTube and Instagram especially. I mean, all these makeup artists, and they've got like 20 million
Yeah. Isn't that
people, and I'm
crazy?
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You're just putting on eyelashes.
That's
yeah, same thing every day.
Like, I don't.
Yeah.
How the fuck do I do that?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I've ever YouTubed makeup.
You can't. They have a lingo now. It's MUA.
Oh yeah.
MUA. Or the makeup mafia.
Oh wait, is the mafia different than the mob?
I guess. It's makeup mafia at that. So imagine.
I mean,
Glitter and be gay.
God. Wait, so how? Like, what's the oldest drag queen or drag entertainer?
Oh, well, in Denver, we have two icons. One is 84.
Oh my god.
And the other one is 71. So Christy Lane, to my knowledge, is the oldest drag queen in Denver. And she pulled the very first Pride March permit from the city back in 76.
My god.
And started basically Denver Pride.
Wow.
And then Nina Montaldo is known as the Grande Dame of Denver, and she is, I'm giving everyone's age. I don't even know if it's true.
I mean,
one old bitch and another old bitch.
damn, I didn't really,
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like what is there like a average age for like retiring, or is it just you just do it for one
Death.
death?
Or when your silicone tits drop.
I mean, but you
You're
mentioned
done.
your friend retired, right?
Yeah.
So
I have many friends that have retired over the years. I think it gets too painful for the body. And when you reach a certain age, like your body just doesn't want to move anymore.
Okay.
So we're in the day and age of, like high kicks and cooter splits and all this bullshit. And you are not getting that from me. Because I always say Medicaid does not cover that.
What did you do?
God. Like, can you explain that again?
Wait, have you ever hurt yourself during a show?
I have. I've hurt my knee and my ankle because I've twisted it and wearing new heels. Never wear new heels when you're doing a show. Like wear it for a walk around or a photo shoot. Like I had maybe 3 years ago, I had 2 custom pair of shoes made for me. They're 3-inch heels. That's all I ever wear.
Wow.
I have them in black. I have them in tan. That's all you're ever going to see me in when I'm performing. Now, when I do a photo shoot or if I'm emceeing for something or I'm having a full look, then I'm going to put on a special heel, but not something I'm going to be in for like 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, what's like the most what's the most positive and then what's the most negative experience you've had from this?
I would say the most positive thing for me is that just the recognition of people realizing, and now that I've been in it for a while, it's like people can rely on me to be able to carry the evening or the show or whatever it might be. So that I feel good about because then I've done my job over this last 23 years of saying, this is who I want to be and I'm not going to veer from that. And so I haven't. And so now it's gotten me to the success that I have. But then the negative part of that too is that then you have new people coming into the community that think that what you have done needs to be swept away because you need to make room for the younger people.
Oh.
Which is not at all, because those younger people need to learn, because all they've been learning from is RuPaul's Drag Race or another reality show, which is not reality.
Oh.
So who do you have to look up to? That's not a TV personality. Those are your local artists. And I say in every show to the audience, I'm like, if you can name 10 RuPaul drag girls, but you cannot name 10 local people, then you're not a true drag fan.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good way to
You're not
put
a fan.
that. Yeah.
You are not a true fan.
So, okay, I guess when it comes to RuPaul, like, do you have like a favorite like season or winner?
My favorite person that is on the show is Bianca Del Rio because she is a true class act, like comedy, and she's probably the highest paid person ever.
What season?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Maybe in season 8 or 9. It was like midway. They just finished season 14, which is going to be televised. There's a Denver girl on there in this next season, which I'm super excited about.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, she's my favorite because she just shoots the shit like it is. Like she doesn't sugarcoat anything. She's also a trained actor and was on Broadway for many years and toured in many different shows. But then as soon as you put on a frock, it becomes something very different. And then you're more relatable to people and you're hireable at that point.
Wow.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, you went to an art school.
Yeah.
College. Like how cool of an experience that was.
It was a lot of fun. And for me, I went to a place that was kind of a starting point. So it was a 2-year college, and then you kind of graduated and went into NYU's theater program. So it was one of those progressive schools. But it's funny because a lot of people that have graduated from my first college have done nothing. But then you have the diamonds in the rough that have gone on to be, great Broadway stars and musical people and, all those types of things. And I now travel with people that graduated from the same college I did and are traveling in drag. I know 3 people that we've crossed paths. And I'm like, oh, I went to AMDA, and they were like, me too. And I'm like, oh my God. And here we are traveling the world doing drag.
Do you ever go back to your hometown?
Oh yeah, I was just there last week.
And do you talk to anyone?
Oh, I'm a fucking celebrity.
I was gonna ask.
Which it's weird, because no one cared when I was in high school. Like I was the only gay person in my entire town that I knew of. You know, there was no one to relate to, and that's why I never came out.
So was your husband the first person that you were like with?
He's the second person.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with like 25 years of marriage, right?
23. Yeah.
What, like, is that like? Like,
How have y'all like both grown? Like, right?
It's hard to meet somebody at this point that's been married that long.
Yeah. And especially in gay years. And it's like, 5 million.
Oh, is that different?
It's, because most relationships last about 3 to 7 years.
Oh, wow.
In the gay world. It's very few and far between that last beyond that. Because I think a lot of people, things change so much in the world. There's differences of, maybe they met when they were young and now they're 7 years older, 10 years older, and their spectrums are completely different. Luckily, we're both from the entertainment world. So when I had to leave for a gig for 9 months, it was no big deal. But not everyone can handle that. If I were married to someone that was not in the entertainment industry, they would have been like, why are you leaving me for 8 months?
Right.
Like, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
So I think the thing is too, is we make each other laugh. We take the piss out of each other every single day. I mean, we just make fun of each other. We're called, our neighbors refer to us as the old bickering couple. Because we just have little quips for everything. Like,
I mean, you just know each other so much. At this
oh my
point,
gosh.
it's like,
absolutely.
Well, I kind of want to know, like, I mean, things are way more progressive than they were 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, being with someone, how has that been, like, seeing this change, like, over the course of 25 years?
Yeah. It's interesting because, we went from, he wasn't out to his family. I wasn't out to my family.
Yeah.
So we did it at the same time.
oh.
And so it was just an interesting journey that we both had together. His family had a very different reaction. It took them a little bit longer to get used to it, where my family was like, okay, we knew. What's next?
Yeah. Okay. Where's his family from?
His mother's been married 4 times. And so she is originally from Oklahoma City and then lived in Memphis and Nashville. She's a very Southern lady. She doesn't go outside without her lashes and makeup and her hair done.
Okay.
Like, she is
Very
a true Southern lady.
And so y'all get along.
Yeah. Now she lives here. We put her in a home last year and
Wow. Okay.
she's good. Yeah. She lived with us actually for 4 years
Wow.
in the house. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Wow.
We're just
4
like,
years.
I guess just like being from the South in general, like my dad is so like, we didn't talk because I was vegan. He's very much like conservative. So like, we like to ask people's family dynamics like that because it's always just so different. So it's really cool that your family was just so chill. And I feel like when you come out, I've heard a lot that like the family didn't have any idea, and I'm like, how could you?
Because they've got blinders on,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that I feel bad for youth that are coming out to their family and they don't get it, and I'm like, what? Didn't give it away.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm like, your child just opened its mouth and glitter popped out.
Yeah,
like that's. And I know from a little age too, our neighbors have kids. I'm like, oh, he's going to be a flaming homo when he's older.
Wow.
And the mother is like, I sure hope so.
That's
and that's a big change.
You can tell from that young.
Well,
Depends.
I think everyone goes through their flamboyant stages, but I was a very flamboyant kid. I used to wear nightgowns that I would roll up in the side when it was cool back in the 80s.
Oh, nice.
And they were all Betty Boop nightgowns because I was infatuated with Betty Boop. And every photo you see of me in a family photo is me in some cockeyed position with my hand up in the air, hands on my hips.
Have you not dressed as Betty Boop yet?
No.
Wow.
I know. I need to do that.
Yeah, what? That would be great. That would be great.
Halloween or
photo shoot.
birthday.
Well,
Yeah.
so you've probably helped a lot of kids around here, right?
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is I love talking to youth and helping kids and just help them find their way. Like, I've been mentor to a few kids that have been seniors in high school and they want to get into the art of drag, but it's like they don't have a supportive family, so they have to do it on the DL. Even the nail shop that I go to, one of the kids that works in there, his family knows that he's gay, but because of their culture won't allow him to have fake nails. And so it was cute. I was there last week and he was like, oh, my parents are away for 2 weeks. I'm putting nails on today. And so he had one of the technicians put on fake nails for him. Like, It's just those types of things. And it's like, but who are you going to talk to? Like, Who are the people in your life outside of your family that you can have open conversations with that you're not going to get judged? Right. And maybe I can be the person to say, don't do that. Mm-hmm. You know, you'll learn why that's not a good thing to do when you're my age.
Yeah.
You know, but everyone has to explore and do what they feel is right in the moment for them. Mm-hmm. We have to allow people to make mistakes.
Right. Mm-hmm. So is there like a story with, that's kind of like touched you with like a kid that you've helped in particular that you think about? Like, is there like, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's one that comes, my very first person that ever reached out to me, it was through Facebook, and they saw my picture and they were like, oh, I'm doing he was a sophomore maybe in high school, junior in high school, came from a Filipino family. And his parents were not okay with anything about dressing up. And his Instagram and Facebook was all covered with him in like beautiful gowns, but he still kept the boy hair. Mm-hmm. And so they asked if we could meet at a Starbucks. And the family he wanted to interview me for his class. And so it was very sweet. And we sat in the Starbucks. Literally, we were there for about 4.5 hours because it was just like, question after question. And I'm not going to say, TikTok, dude, like I got to go.
Yeah.
Like that's just not what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, okay, well, what else are you interested in knowing? Now it's like to the point, then the parents would come in and he spoke for them because they didn't speak English.
Wow.
And so the father came in and thanked me. And, you know, it was one of those things like the conversations that we had got really deep real fast because then finding out that he would like to transition to become she. And so this was kind of the start of the journey for that, of dabbling in the art of drag to see if this is what they were identifying as in their true authentic self. So now she is freshman in college and living life as a female and posting beautiful photos and just like living that life, but the family still doesn't accept it because they don't get it. You know, it's the cultural boundaries. It's also not part of their culture to accept it, which is interesting because in the Filipino culture, they love what they call ladyboys. That's what they're called. Here, it's a derogatory term, but in the Philippines, it's a celebrated term. There's even a documentary on, I think, Hulu or Netflix, and it's called Ladyboys. Wow. And it follows the life of the ladyboys in the Philippines, of how they are sex workers, and that's how they make their money. That's how they make their living with tourists that come, because eventually they want to make it to the US or to Canada to become citizens of another country. And so they look for their sugar daddies in the Philippines, and it happens. I mean, it's a huge, huge industry.
Damn.
Well, props to...
you changed that person's life.
Yeah.
It's, you know, for me, I did a video on my drive home because I was in tears when I left. Because it was something that I felt that I had to share, and I didn't want to share too many details about it because it just happened. But it was one of those things that, and it pops up on my timeline every day on that year now, and it still brings me not so much to tears anymore, but thinking that's one person that is now living their authentic self and not thinking about suicide. Because that's the biggest thing amongst teenagers in the queer community that are transitioning or not, coming out of the closet or not. They don't have the support system, so they get in a spiral of depression and anxiety. And so the first thing they think about is suicide, you know, and if we can prevent one person, you know, then that's really, a good thing. But there are so many kids that struggle with it, and even adults. There are adults that come out at a late age because it's just not been accepted in their life, with their surroundings. And they don't know. Maybe they have kids already, and they don't know if their kids are going to be accepting.
Wow.
We took it down.
Yeah. I mean, that was real. Damn.
Yeah.
It sucks because I can't imagine me being attracted to something and it not being allowed. You know? Like I can't, that's a privilege, and it's really, I don't think about it enough, I guess. Damn, I got real down. Fine. Well, I think.
But I get up again.
There goes.
You ain't never gonna keep me down.
Okay, so like, what all does Dixie like allow you to do and express? Otherwise, you can't or wouldn't, as John.
For me, it's just like I said before. It makes my voice heard. Like I feel like I'm more heard when I dress like this. Like it's just a very different thing when you walk into a room and you're 7 foot tall and people are like, damn.
That's so true.
Yeah. And so those are some of the things for me, but also it's just I feel like I have more freedom. Like I can say anything. And I say anything in air quotes because, you know, in this day and age of being politically correct, that's why it squashed a lot of comedians, you know, kind of material, because I find that we are too sensitive in society. Like, yes, there are terms that shouldn't be used anymore. There are stories that shouldn't be told anymore, but we can't squash everything that's history or things that have happened in the past or going forward in the future, because it is comedy.
Yeah.
Like if someone doesn't take it personally but you do, but it's not directed to you, then sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
Like it's not about you. It's about the people in the room at the time.
People just want to cancel people so bad.
They do, and I hate that shit. It happens so much in the drag community. Like, you know, people get called out all the time because they did something at 16 years old on MySpace. And I'm like, give me a fucking break.
Oh, I know. That's where I draw the line, like with the cancel culture. I'm like, okay, if it was a long time ago, and who are you now?
Yes.
Like, what are you doing now? If you're doing it now, then that's different.
That's a problem.
But but if it's so long ago, chill the fuck out. Like, oh my God. Like, again, I can't very much speak to a lot of that because like it's the whole privilege thing, and it's just like I can't say what should make you mad or what shouldn't, I guess. But how do you feel?
I will.
Okay, well then then
I'll say it for you.
I just feel like I don't really have like a say in anything. Like that, so.
I'm really anxious to speak on anything or like say. I'm like, am I going to say this right? I like want to. I mean, I'm so quiet on my social media now. I used to
I'm loud.
just be so open, but now I'm just like, I think maybe I just don't care as much to share, but it's also this fear of like, oh, I'm not going to say this well.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It is that interesting kind of what's the gray area. And I feel like there's too much of it now, but it's like, you don't know unless you do it. You know, it's either going to, but there's a funny way to do it if you were trying to be funny about it. And then there's a derogatory way to be about it. Like, I mean, read the room is what I always say.
Yeah. Read the whole
like
room.
if it's crickets, it probably wasn't a good one.
Yeah. How do you feel about shows like The Office and stuff? Do you think that those are like funny?
I think they're fucking hysterical.
Okay, thank you. You too. Because a lot of people are like, that show, like you know, not funny.
Oh, sit down is what I say. Sit the fuck down. That show was done like 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. Like, come on. We're in a different world.
Yeah. But they say that, you know, that The Office could never be on TV now because of how everything
all
is
those
now.
None of the no TV show in history could ever be on again. But guess what? Fuck that.
So like, are shows funny anymore?
No. That's why we watch Hulu and Netflix.
That's why reality
and
is
Amazon.
so popular.
Yes.
Wow. I wonder
Below
if there's
Deck,
gonna
honey.
Be,
and Real Housewives, I'm all
like
about
a breakthrough. Like, or like if something like where we revert back to old comedy. Like, I wonder if
I doubt it.
Okay.
Because by the time that happens, you're going to lose all of your good comedians. They're going to be dead or retired.
Wow.
Because they're just not going to want to do it anymore.
So is humor changing?
Or I feel like it's just going to be a new style of humor.
Yeah, it's too bland for me. I like crass humor. Like, I love when people fall down and break shit. Like, I like physical, crass humor, like really dirty and raunchy. And I'm an equal opportunity offender. I say that all the time. I'm going to offend everybody.
Okay.
Equally.
Okay.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, I will
offend you. Wait, so do you like watching, you know, like when people like are skateboarding and then they just like hurt themselves?
Oh, I love it.
I can't handle that at all. I can't handle when people
unless there's like something going out of the surface of the skin, then I'm not about it.
Okay.
But I do like people seeing people get hurt. I'm like, that's called karma, motherfucker.
Okay, so like, I guess what has Dixie taught you about yourself and others and everything? Like,
I think Dixie's taught me to not care as much about what other people think.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that I think we get too much in our heads and we start analyzing everything. Then it becomes this circus. Yeah. And then you really need a therapist on dial because then you just kind of get in your mind. And I'm a Capricorn anyway, so I already get in my mind. January?
December.
I'm January 12th.
December 26th. I'm like closer to the Sag.
Oh, you got screwed.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm a Pisces, so Pisces.
My husband is a Pisces.
Pisces and Capricorns are always like best friends.
Yes.
Or like,
Yeah.
My ex was a Capricorn.
I've never met a Pisces man.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that would be my husband.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've never dated another Pisces.
Just put it on your whatever they call Bumble, Tumble, Rumble. What's the name of the apps now?
Bumble.
Sure.
Hinge.
Yeah.
What?
Bumble, Hinge.
Who comes up with these names?
I don't
Hinge?
know. Hinge.
Hinge.
Like, what does that even mean with dating? Hinge.
I don't know. Open the door and let me in.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know.
Hinge.
That sounds
Nobody's ever questioned that.
I think
Today's the day.
people have.
Okay, today's the day.
Silently.
Yeah, like silently. Yeah. Well, I guess to kind of like wrap it up, like what else do you do outside of like drag? Like, do you like talk about your podcast?
Yes, I have a podcast called Spillin' the Tea with Dixie.
I'm about to be,
And it's
on
so much
that.
fun. I started doing it weekly, and then I found, because people just are, every time I talk, they're just like, God, you need to do something, because you
Yes.
just have, you just like to talk. I'm like, yeah, I do like to talk. And so I started a podcast where I'm literally sitting in my recliner, and I just push record, and I'm just like talking about whatever's happened in the day or the week, and I just kind of go off on tangents, and it's utter BS. But then I got like, when I got my 3,000th listen after the first year, I was like, oh, people just like to hear me talk nonsense. Okay, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And I've done it, I think it's going into the third year, but I won for Best Podcast in Denver 2 years ago, my very first year doing it.
Oh my God. I
Yes.
didn't even know that was a
Yes.
contest.
There is. You can be on it too.
Wow, we just started in January.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I only had mine for like 6 months before that came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
love it. And I just kind of talk about stuff, what's happening in my life. I've gone on and reviewed movies, music videos from MTV from back in the day. I'll watch it
Yeah.
on YouTube and then just give a whole play-by-play. I'll talk to my dog for an hour.
Oh my God, I cannot wait to tune into this. I
Yeah.
had
It's,
no idea.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The last time I did one was Pride Week. So that was almost a month ago. So it's time
You're
to
So you
do
don't
it.
do it every day now. It's just kind of
No,
random.
it's very random because I have to be in the mood now for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, oh, what am I going to talk about?
Well, is it hard to do it by yourself?
No,
Okay.
literally, I just.
You just.
I'm
go.
usually sitting there drinking water, a glass of wine, and I just put it on the armchair and I just talk away, just chit chat, and I don't edit anything because I'm just like, if the doorbell fucking rings and the dog goes off, oh well, that's part of the show.
It's basically a.
Like I just
yeah.
wanted it to be real life. Like this is what happens because everyone's like, what do you do?
It's your open diary.
It is. Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy that humans just like to hear other people talk.
It's
Connection.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I get messages on it all the time, and I'm just like, okay. I'm glad you enjoy it.
So you've been doing it for 3 years now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Is there any other projects that you do?
No. I mean, outside of everything, I like to go
Why-
skiing. I love
okay.
to travel. Travel's my big thing.
Okay.
If I could travel every day of the month, I would.
Every day-
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. If I want to get it to the point where I'm doing weddings every weekend in a different
In different
state,
city. Yeah.
country, whatever. And it was like that for one point, then COVID really slowed it down.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I can resonate with that a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
I like to travel a lot.
Yeah. Well, this was great.
I'm
This was,
glad.
like, our first time to meet Dixie and talk to her. And like, this is just like first drag entertainer on. First,
I
there's
popped your cherry.
You really did.
Again.
This is
Wait,
like,
Allegedly.
Can we come to one of your shows?
Yes, please do.
That would be
when
so
do you?
fun.
When is the?
Oh my God, I've got so much. Tonight I'm doing Olympic trivia at the Park Tavern. Yeah.
Trivia?
It's fun. You
feel
won't know any of the trivia questions.
Okay.
Oh, like the Olympics.
Like the Olympics. Like the history of the Olympics.
yeah, I don't-
Okay,
Shit.
we
Yeah.
don't know a damn
Yeah.
thing.
I don't know them either. I just got them on the Google and copy paste.
Yeah.
The people that are gonna be there tonight, I'm imagining this right now.
A lot of stoners.
Oh, really?
Yes. We have regulars because I'm there almost every Tuesday. This month was weird. I'm only there this Tuesday, and then next Tuesday I'm doing bingo. What's today? Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just said that. Thursday night, I'll be here at the Milk Market doing nighttime bingo drag brunch with Shirley Delta Blow. Yeah.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. You won't be here. I'm sad.
Yeah.
Next time.
And then this weekend, I'm everywhere. I'm at Triangle every Sunday usually. I'm back at Milk Market on Sunday for another drag brunch.
oh my God, I can't. I'm gonna
Find her.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go on my website, I put up a monthly calendar, social,
Oh,
same
wow.
thing.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
You can buy merch. I have T-shirts, fans,
Fuck
pins.
yes. Oh my God, I'm so excited
Fans?
about this.
Yes, like the big old clack fans,
Oh,
honey.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we had those at that.
And they
wedding.
have my face on it with a teacup spilling the tea.
I want one.
We're gonna have to like tag everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dang, thank you for coming on.
We have
Like,
3 more questions.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah. Oh my God, we have to absolutely. ask these. And these have nothing to do with the interview.
Okay, fabulous.
Okay. You wanna go first?
What is your favorite way to cook or eat a potato?
Ooh, I love a baked potato loaded.
Yeah.
I love all the sour cream, and I like chive, and I like
chives.
cheddar cheese. It has to be sharp shredded cheddar, not that bagged shit like fresh off the block.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And bacon.
I love
is
loaded
my
baked
That's
potato.
a regular. And then sweet potato, honey. I'll take that all day long. Loaded with marshmallow cream
Like a
and brown sugar.
casserole?
No.
Okay.
Like a sweet potato and its peel.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
I do actually. I love potato skins. Like
Ooh.
I'll
I do
eat the
too,
whole
yeah.
thing.
It's the best part of the potato for you.
Yeah.
It has all the fiber.
I'm
The flavor.
So you shit real good.
shit real good. I'm like starving now. Okay, well, our next question has to do with the Olympics, which is hilarious. So, if you could be good at any Olympic sport, summer or winter, which one would it be?
Ooh. I would have to say the luge.
What is
The
that?
what?
The luge, the little mobile that they sit in with the 4 men. Oh, honey, to be strapped in
Oh, is that
thigh to
called
thigh.
luge?
Is that what it's called? Am I wrong? The luge?
No, I think.
What's that called? Bobsled. Bobsled.
Yes,
Bobsled.
Yeah.
Where'd the luge come
I don't know,
from?
but aren't they on a luge? Yeah,
What
it's the
is a
same thing.
luge?
It's the
Oh.
same thing.
Like a big sled.
It's the thing that they go in. It's like a big sled.
That is so funny.
I would be in a bobsled surrounded by muscular thighs.
I'm so dead.
That's so funny that you thought
Yes.
of that.
Oh my God.
Strap me in.
I'm so dead. Okay. What's the
All
next one?
night long. All night. All night.
We're gonna do like
night
the
long.
artwork for this, and we're just gonna put you in between, like.
Yes. Some big old meaty thighs.
Oh my God. Okay, next question.
Would you rather smoke weed on the beach or trip in the desert?
Trip
Ooh.
psychedelics.
I'm going to smoke weed on the beach
Okay.
with a pina colada pitcher.
That sounds
Okay.
amazing right now. Pina colada.
I know. Can you just imagine that euphoric? Oh. Like I would be drooling all over myself.
Maybe some reggae music. I don't know.
Oh,
That's what I'm
yes.
feeling.
I love reggae music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. What kind of music do you dance to?
Oh,
Everything.
everything, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no like major theme.
No major theme. I like all weird music.
Okay.
Like I like music from the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Oh, nice. Wow.
I like to find weird shit. My husband is an audio engineer, so he's a music
Yeah.
person.
Wow.
So that was our first date. We sat and listened to records,
Wow. I love
Yeah.
that.
which we do every year on our anniversary.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't even know him and I love him.
Wow.
He's aight.
Yeah.
Well, dang it. I learned so much. This
Yeah.
is really good. We're very
Thanks
thankful
for
that you came
introducing
on.
us into the drag world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
This is going to be so great. Well, a lot of our major listeners are in Arkansas, so it's just nice.
Oh.
That's why we try to do like just
Arkansas has a huge drag scene.
Where?
Actually, the recent winner of Drag Race is from Arkansas.
We interviewed Mark Monroe. He was one of our guests. He did
Yes.
all of her designs
Yep.
and everything like that.
And
Yeah.
Kalila Cortez, who is from X Bar, is her best friend.
Yes, yeah, and we were gonna have Kalia on too at some point.
Yeah. Oh, I
And
love her so much.
And I did his senior pictures a long time ago.
Oh
in
my
Arkansas.
God.
Yeah,
It's a small world.
I know. So yeah, Arkansas's. drag
They've got a
community
pretty
is-
good drag scene. It's
Yeah.
very much pageant drag.
Oh, okay.
A lot of beauty queens.
Oh, I don't know. What is it? What's the other type of drag?
Just day to day.
Oh,
A
okay.
pageant scene is a very different thing.
Okay.
Like it's like that's all they do. They don't really perform in the world.
Oh wow. Okay.
They're like a porcelain doll, and that's what they live for is the pageants because they spend tens of thousands of dollars on one pageant just for their looks.
so just
Wow.
like to walk up on stage and do that.
It's usually
versus
like it's like Miss
performing?
America, but it's it's a beauty pageant for queer entertainers.
Wow.
Like entertainer of the year is a huge thing to win, and it's like such an accolade to have. That's coming up. I think next month is in August every year that they do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
We keep
Yeah.
learning stuff.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Tell
okay.
everybody where to find
Yeah,
you.
where can we find you?
Sure. You can find me on the social bubbles. I'm on Instagram, twat. What else? I'm on the YouTube, although I don't have anything on YouTube, so forget about that. You can go to the website, DixieKrystals.com.
With a K?
Yeah, with a K. Crystals with a K. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
So that's the handle for like everything.
Yeah, at Dixie Krystals. Except for on Twitter, they made me do it backwards. It's Crystals Dixie.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know. Someone else had the name, I guess. I was like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Who are you?
I know. And I never, at Twitter, I always just go on and post, hello.
That's it.
The end.
I can't with Twitter. I'm just reposting our stuff. I can't.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it.
It's gotten really stupid.
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of restrictions. And I went on the whole fucking TikTok bandwagon like 6 months ago. And then I put up one photo shoot where I was a dominatrix. And because I had a whip in my hand, they marked it as being sexual. I'm like, bitch, I sit on the TikTok and watch people's penises flapping in my face all the time.
Yeah, what? So because you have a whip, it's like...
I just think they have like censors where
they do have like, so many. There's so much censorship in Twitter. And now Instagram is getting that way too.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
We'll just have to create our own social bubble.
Down.
Yeah.
I mean, rip to Tumblr, because that's where you could put some raunchy shit on
That's
there.
Twitter. I mean, every time I open it up, it's like watching a porn site. I was like, fucking A.
Yeah, there's like people on there just posting porn.
It's like dicks galore.
They don't care at all.
No.
Anyway. Okay. Well, that's where, we can start talking about that. But yeah, thank you for coming on. This was amazing. And
we love you.
Yay. Thank you.
Now we're obsessed. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening and making it through all the way. And all the way. And follow Dixie on everything.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah. Again, we're trying out this thing.
Well,
you can find us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook at Oh Here We Go. It's O with 2 H's. Here we go.
And like, comment, subscribe, reach out to us.
We're really trying here.
We're trying.
Just flick it.
Just
flick it, tap it, swipe it, and wipe it.
Help some honeys out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks guys, and bye.
We'll see you next time.